To Pod and Long. I'm your host, Ryan. It's great to have you with us. I'm here with one of my co-hosts. It's the Word of Drew.
As I told you guys mere moments ago, when Francisco Lindor hit a grand slam, I would have kissed him full on the mouth. Period.
Also here with Mr. Mike.
Good news, everyone. Now that this being the 6th week of my attendance in this podcast, I met the trade conditions of of the deal, and everyone now gets a free ham sandwich.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Yep. You are now entitled to a compensatory ham sandwich.
Oh, no. I'm going to be in Jersey for the next week. I don't want a Jersey ham sandwich.
Oh, God. That's also...
Mark, that you have to pay the stripper extra for that.
That's true.
Oh, God. All right. Hit me. Also here, Mr. Megastar Mark.
That's right. And just give you guys an update. You know, obviously, I'm a Mets fan, but I'm also a Sabres fan, and they won their first game a couple days ago. That's right. 1-3, baby.
You're on fire right now.
We're coming.
The Sabres, the Mets, Mark's Commanders.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Down this week, but that's okay. All right.
Best tuna melt in town. No, wait, that was a different thing.
Time for the A block, which has news this time. A lot of news. It has news. Breaking news. We got ourselves some trades. We got Davante Adams finally traded to the Jets.
Finally, I thought this was going to be like 2 weeks ago. We were going to talk about this.
Right. We talked about it in nauseum already.
Yeah,
ad nauseum already.
He's
finally gone. What do we actually have the numbers and the information now?
Yeah, I went from like oh my god, like the Raiders got fleeced to the Raiders got that whole contract off their books, and then the Jets like restructured like a couple hours ago. So kind of a win-win for everybody. Like the Raiders needed that contract gone, and they got it fully gone, which is I feel like that's more important than the compensation. Now they're completely out from underneath that 3-year contract. The Jets got the guy they wanted.
Well, and they're going to get a second or third round pick out of the deal, which is a solid deal. Like the Raiders, great move by the Raiders. You move him across the country. He's still in the AFC, but not really a major problem, especially considering his age.
Well, and it's because the Raiders aren't a problem. The Raiders aren't going anywhere. So they're Adamson.
No, but it's not something where like it's going to burn them in the next year or two. Like the Raiders are in a
rebuild. Right. The Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or something where it's like the Raiders are not really in contention at the moment. Yeah. So, by the time they are, Davante Adams is probably no longer playing football.
I just looked it up too. They don't even play each other this year, which I couldn't imagine. I assume they didn't, but I mean that's no harm, no foul. You get an extra second or third.
Look, it's the definition of a good fantasy trade. Everyone won.
Yeah. And Poochie's happy.
Oh boy, is Poochie happy.
As I've said before, the curse of Joe Namath is going to rear its head. What's going to happen in about 2 weeks is Poochie's ACL is going to explode, and that's going to be it.
He's going to
while throwing an interception because, like Brett Favre, his last career pass is going to be an interception.
This is the trick for the Raiders in this deal. And ultimately, I think this is a fine deal. And as we said, whatever it was, a week or 2 weeks ago, like, listen, at this point, the auspices under which you brought Adams to Las Vegas are no longer true. Right. So you might as well have a mutual parting of the ways. So fine, get your conditional 4th rounder or whatever that turns into 3 or 2, depending on what happens. And as Mark said, getting out from under the deal is a pretty big deal for the Raiders. So I'm not upset about any of the auspices of the trade. The only 5% of me that wonders is the Raiders have so much cap room over the next 2 years, and they will probably not be a huge destination. Like, I think at the end of the 2025 season, they have like $80 million in cap space, and they may not, frankly, be able to spend it all in an efficient way. So there is part of me that wonders if the Raiders had been willing to maintain part of that deal, could they have exacted a better price? Or at the very least, could that have enticed more teams into the trade market and created a bidding war for Adams' value? But like I said, that's the smallest 5% of this, and it doesn't really matter because the Raiders win here. I'm just curious if it is the best win they could have got.
So let me ask you this, Drew. Does the NFL have a minimum salary threshold that they have to spend?
I don't think so. I think only hockey has instituted a floor.
Okay. So there is no floor. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that the Raiders just don't spend the money. And, maybe they somehow, poop the bed and hit the Manning sweepstakes or something. Sure. And now they've got, now we have a young rookie quarterback on a long-term deal, which seems to be the model now. And now we can go out and spend $1 bazillion to get everybody to come play in Las Vegas. Like, you're no longer recruiting I think this is a smart long-term play by the Tom Brady owned Las Vegas Raiders.
Right? And I agree with you.
You're so bad.
I agree with you. The part of that that's hardest is that it's contingent on them hitting on getting a quarterback. Because if they can't find a quarterback in the draft in the next draft or two, free agents aren't going to want to go there anyway. So that's the critical piece.
But they'll have the dump truck full of money.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that's true. Free agent quarterback because they'll now have a dump truck full of money to give them that free agent.
Yeah, and I don't think the Raiders are
at some point again.
And they're going to take a swing. They're going to go for some quarterbacks. I think
they're missing a lot of positions, but that's the position they are clearly missing.
Right. And you always have a fighting chance, a puncher's chance. Like Jaden Daniels, like I said, went number 2. And I think Caleb Williams, we'll talk about him later, I think is going to be okay. But you can't go anywhere unless you take a swing at it. And, who knows if they get Quinn Ewers or Cam Ward and they explode this year, then you're in perfect condition. Then you're in great condition or your situation going into the next years. So,
Sam Darnold's a free agent.
Maybe.
Don't you put that hurt on me, Ricky Bobby.
The next best choice is Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Jacoby Brissett, Taylor Heineke, Marcus Mariota again. The aforementioned.
I had him once.
Someone else will become available. Someone's going to become available. Come on.
Those are the free agents in 25.
So, right now, but you know how the NFL offseason goes. Somebody's going to pop out. Geno Smith or somebody.
Patrick Mahomes.
Daniel Jones might be available.
Yeah, don't put that hurt on me. Listen, right. Bryce Young. I don't want to hear about Daniel Jones.
You want Bryce? You need him? We got a bag of golf balls?
Take him over Aiden O'Connell. At least somebody thought Bryce Young had value.
Some golf balls.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, right.
No, please no.
No, they have to suffer through that contract. That's the rule.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, to watch them suffer for another year.
Them out.
One of the vacuous talking heads had said something like, I think it was maybe the Lions, right? Because Hutchinson went down badly. That was a terrible injury because he seems like a decent player and a cool dude.
Yeah.
So do the Browns start saying, hey, Myles Garrett is available? We don't want any picks back.
Mm-hmm.
You just take
take
Deshaun, and that's it.
Yeah.
I've heard this. They
that
offer.
Who takes that deal?
That is such a NBA create cap space trade. That's exactly what that is.
You just cut him, and then I think the team that trades for him takes a hit, but not anywhere near the hit that the Browns.
It's like you have cap space. You pay 40, we pay 40. We give you our first round pick, and then you cut him.
But nobody has cap space to absorb that other than the Niners, and that'll be hysterical. But no,
they're not going to soon.
Don't put that on me.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying.
Now, in fairness, I like Myles Garrett.
And
Watson like Myles Garrett.
And Rafe LaFrence's expiring contract is insured by his medical company, so you'll get paid 80% of the value no matter what.
Yeah, we're at that territory, right?
Can we get Bobby Bonilla wrapped into this?
It also kind of reminds. It's not exactly the same, but it kind of reminds me of the NHL when who was the expansion team? Who was like
Kraken?
No, it was before them. Vegas. Vegas was literally like extorting teams. Like, all right, you want to take this guy or this guy? Give us picks.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, sure.
Look, that's super smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they stopped that from happening.
Space right now. Yeah, you have 0 players.
Who you want us to take? Give us some picks instead. Okay, we'll give you picks. They got good real quick. That's not the only trade that happened, but let's real quick. If Davante Adams becomes a second round pick, he has to be on the Jets in the Super Bowl. Is that right?
Yes, the title game.
And he has to make an All-Pro team. There's two things. He has to be on the Super Bowl
and or.
Yeah.
Oh, was it or?
Okay. First or second team All-Pro.
He ain't doing either of those things.
The AFC title game or the Super Bowl.
He also missed 3 games, so just stat-wise,
statistically, he can't. Right. So it's going to be a 3.
It's like Mr. P Master P negotiated his contract.
Yeah. With WCW.
Make him say,
Nah.
Master
Still P. Arguably my favorite music video ever.
Yes,
great music video.
There's a golden tank. It's ridiculous.
The best. That's not the only trade, because Amari Cooper was also traded today to the Bills. Mark.
Yes.
I like this deal.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. He's a good player.
And they gave up a 3rd and 7 and got a 6 in Amari Cooper back.
I like this.
I like it too. Amari Cooper has led the league the last 2 years in separation, which is one thing the Bills desperately need. He's also like one of the best route runners in the league. He's not overly big or fast or, but he's one of the best route runners. And the Bills already have, a big tall dude to go get the end zone ones in Coleman. And they have a kind of a shifty, wacky guy in Shakir. They don't have a good route runner, and now they do. So that I think is going to be a big help. A big help. I'm glad they got him, and I like Amari. So good.
He's played well.
They didn't go for some more defensive help.
Yeah, they definitely need defensive help, but they're also Milano will come back pretty soon. He's going to be back in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, he is such the heart and soul of that Bills defense. Ed Oliver will be back next week. Von Miller, he's once he gets off suspension. He'll help contribute. So and a lot of those guys too, like Taron Johnson, who had that interception in the game we'll talk about. This is his first game back in 6 weeks. He got hurt in the preseason, right. and Terrell Bernard is still working his way back. So I think the defense will be better. Just the more time they get used to, they just get back into the swing of things. But they really miss Diggs and Gabe Davis to a degree. I mean, they really need a solid, sure hand receiver.
They needed this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And good for Amari Cooper to get out of that fucking cesspool.
Yeah, really. Well, he's still got some prime years left.
Yeah, right.
He's now at Cleveland East.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean,
100% less rapists. So.
The fact that he was that productive with the situation he's got going on over there and Joe Flacco.
He fucking exploded in that Joe. Remember that Joe Flacco game where he had a competent quarterback
300 yards. Yeah.
By the way, not for nothing, one of my fantasy football teams, Tua, was my starting quarterback. That didn't work out. So Derek Carr was my starting quarterback, and that didn't work out. So I took the Ryan road and put Joe Flacco in and fucking won. So I'm all in on Joe Flacco.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think the verdict is in. Joe Flacco is elite.
Yeah,
he's elite again. I had that dilemma. I had to pick up Rattler because I'm in this ridiculous 2-quarterback league. So I picked up Spencer Rattler, and I was staring at the screen like, do I really have to play Rattler? This is funny if I play him. It's good content. Yeah. If I play Rattler, it's very funny.
We'll get to it.
But Flacco became available again. All of a sudden, he was starting, so I picked him right back up. I kicked Rattler to the curb. And it was a good.
Richardson's starting again this week, so this ought to be good. So they just pushed him Flacco right to the curb. Time for Richardson. I guess that's the play
for now. Yeah,
for now.
Okay. There's more news. We're not done with the news. We're not done with the
Akers. Oh, sorry,
Cam Akers. Who cares? Russell Wilson is starting.
Oh my god!
What?
I don't understand this.
Russell Wilson is starting? Is this real?
Come on, Tomlin. You're better than that.
We can play this song now.
Wow. Way out of Denver today really ain't so bad. When you're not as tall as the snowfall, you can't be too sad. It's not like they'll miss you anyway. So somehow you wanna go where nobody cares you suck. And they'll still pay millions of bucks. You wanna be where the beer is cheap and the owner needs to fill the seats. You wanna go where nobody cares you suck.
There it is. We got to play the Russell song. We haven't.
Fantastic.
Is he harmonizing with himself?
Yes, of course
Chris
he is.
amazing.
Chris is the best.
Phil Spector invented that.
And we all know how his life turned out.
It didn't go well after that. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He
anyway,
had that
It's
self-harmonizing.
from my understanding.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson is back in our lives.
Why? They're
Who knew
4-2. Why?
A calf injury would. Yeah, it's not like Fields has played badly. I mean, he's not
Right.
great.
No, but this is an inefficient allocation of resources. You are paying Russ 0. You are paying Justin Fields not a ton, but more than 0. Use the money on the guy that get the money out of the guy that you're giving the money to.
Yeah.
Until he proves otherwise.
Well, here's the thing. Russell Wilson is not even a short-term solution. He's a no-term solution at this point. Yes, the Steelers are playing well and they're in contention, but you're not winning a Super Bowl with Russ Wilson. No. Why not run the season with Fields, really get a good idea of what you got, and see if you can handle it? Because, again, he may be one of those dudes who just got drafted into a shitty situation, was forced to play too early, and now is playing, maybe the Bears are the Jets of the NFC, where their quarterbacks play better when they go someplace else.
But what a way to ruin chemistry, too. People like Justin Fields, whatever you can say about him, he has led this team to 4-2. Yeah. And now you're gonna be like, you know what, Justin sucks. Let's go back to Russell.
It's not even like they started the season with Russell and Russell got hurt.
Right.
Russell hasn't played yet. You're
taking a guy who's led a winning record. You're taking his job away from him, and when he gets it back, and he will get it back because Russell Wilson is going to fuck this up. How's he gonna feel? How is he gonna want to lead this team, knowing that he was yanked for no reason, not for his own play? Stupid.
Tomlin didn't go out and completely say Russ is starting, but I don't know. He's got this weird commitment to Russ. I don't know why. If he promised him something in the offseason or something, I don't know. But I think this is going to hurt the Steelers.
Yeah.
You think?
If he plays, it's not going to be good. I think Russ is done.
Oh,
I mean, if he was on the Titans or something, yeah, okay, I could see that. He gives us a better shot to win than Will.
Get that out of your fucking mouth.
I mean, Will is bad. Will is. We'll get to Will in a minute.
No,
all right.
Not.
First category. We talked about the trades. Both teams played on Monday night. The Bills beat the Jets. It was kind of ugly.
Very ugly.
Bills Josh Allen willed the Bills over the finish line.
The Bills won because Craig Zerline was off. That's kind of the reason. But to me, I thought they should have won I thought the Bills should have beaten the Texans, and they didn't. And I thought they should have lost to the Jets, and they won. So I'm just gonna balance that shit out and just be like, whatever, walk away. Flag fest. Holy fuck. What was with somebody? I got the impression that the league was like, hey, to all the refs, a lot of people are bitching about the no calls on Sunday. Can you call a lot of flags?
Oh yeah.
Can you remind them what it could be like?
Yeah, right. Because what was it, 20-something flags combined?
Yeah,
that's insane. Lot. That's crazy. When both of them had 4 the week prior, there had to have been when you have both quarterbacks insulting the refs afterwards in their press conferences, usually it's just the losing quarterback who says that. But the other, it was just bad. It was really shaky, really gross. But as I always say, a win is a win is a win, and the Bills now have a 2-game
that
buffer in the AFC East with wins on the road against Miami and on the road against the Jets. So that'll
that's good.
Even Pucci was like, that was not a roughing the passer. Just stop.
Yeah,
on himself. He called that on himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Vanessa gently laid him down on the ground.
That was kind of shocking because that guy, as we said last week, Drew made a great point of he never takes ownership over anything or takes the blame for anything. And I guess he kind of did there. But he went after Mike Williams. Yeah, right.
Like Poochie can only not Poochie for so long. About 45 seconds.
Oh my god.
Poochie, be Poochie. Mike
Poochie
Williams.
Poochie.
Poor Mike Williams. That's the whole reason Davante's already there. By the way, he was already there. Did you see this?
Yeah, right.
He was already there. He was in the building, already set, working out. And he said something like, yeah, the Raiders got my hamstring ready. I'm ready to go now.
Yeah.
He's like Kevin Nash with the cat, the fake cat.
It's a miracle. He's playing.
Oh, Davante, I used to like you. I don't like you anymore. Yeah. I'm good now, guys. Yeah, of course you're good.
Look, as you can tell from my little tag there, I thought Belichick shitting on the Jets was absolutely hilarious and dead on. And he's like, well, what do you expect from this owner group? Their plan is ready, shoot, aim. That is
he loves
accurate description of the Jets.
He loves to do that.
Be like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
I said it in our group text though. Like, this ain't gonna fix the fact that the defense allowed Ray Davis to get 150 yards on him.
No, that's
what
a separate
did y'all
issue.
say last week? Wait until the defense starts pooping the bed because they fired Saleh.
Yeah.
And it only took
one game. Yeah.
He went to Kentucky.
How upset do you think Saleh is now? Like, really? You could have traded for him last week.
Yeah.
Come on. Or is he like,
well, the best part is they still, from Ryan's line, they still fired Hackett anyway, which is what
they fired him anyway.
Demoted. They didn't fire him. They demoted him. They sent him to the closet so he could play Tiger Electronics.
Oh my god!
He's got one of those handheld Connect 4s or Tiger Heli.
Oh my god!
Tiger Heli, great game.
He wasn't fired. He was designated for assignment.
Right.
Once he clears waivers, anybody can take a look at him.
Just because I know you're watching this, Ryan, and I don't know if you've gotten to this episode yet, but they made a minister of calendars, basically.
Yeah. Yes. Fine. Whatever. Be minister of calendars.
Minister of calendars. He's up in the booth with a headset on. Who's he talking to?
That headset is wired to an Arby's drive-thru.
Yeah, he's in the second. He's in the second row of the.
Even better.
When have we seen the second row of coaches? He's like,
I know.
He's talking to Tom Moore's headset, which I'm convinced for years with Peyton Manning plugged into nothing, and he was talking about bowls of oatmeal.
My theory that Art Shells was always on easy listening jazz.
Yes.
Oh god.
Oh, I love Art.
No, Chris made fun of Hackett on our show and said after he was fired, I can imagine he's now telling people he has more time for pinochle. And that's what I call my hand smells after I use the bathroom.
Oh, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Oh, he's up in the booth talking to who? I don't know.
I would love the idea that they keep moving him further away from the field every game.
Yeah, he's in like
at some point
you can't be down here.
Bus.
Right. Yeah, right. He's out in the parking lot.
He's like it's like Office Space now. He's in the basement with the stapler.
Guys, what's the password to the bus Wi-Fi?
He's gonna burn the Jets facility to the ground.
We fixed the glitch with Hackett. That's what they did.
But he's not going to burn the Jets facility to the ground intentionally. He's going to burn the Jets facility to the ground because his Easy Bake Oven overheats when he leaves it unattended.
Oh, it would definitely be creepy crawlers.
Drew, you're in. Drew's in.
Yes,
he's in.
Yes,
it's a monument. What is Vince McMahon doing here? Yes, yes. Oh yeah, Drew.
I love those muffins.
Yes. I love when you get involved.
Drew.
He's got nothing to do. It was me, Drew. It was me all along. Jesus Christ.
Don't hug your son.
Oh, God. Oh, Dad. That's still one of my favorites.
His dad, how he misses him.
He misses his dad. That was one of my favorite things Greg has ever said on TGIM. Even Vince misses his dad. All right. Jesus Christ. Hackett's gone. He's in the booth. What? Like, if you're Hackett, can you just be like, Fire me, please. I want to go home and play Peanut
Why?
alone. Why am I still
I
here?
would show up every day in sweatpants.
Absolutely.
I'd sit there and I'd play, whatever. Like I said, my old Tiger Hell-Eye handheld. I'd be happy as a clam. Yeah, keep paying me.
Absolutely. Don't quit. Let them keep paying you.
Right.
Believe they call that the Bill Goldberg plan.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh God.
Pop that shirt off.
Bill Cole.
Show me how ripped you are.
All right. Wow, what a game. Mark's Commanders, they fall to the Ravens.
Valiant effort.
Put up a good
They
fight.
played well.
They did.
Jaden was good.
Yep.
Their defense just is not that great. And Derrick Henry, boy, one of my
He's
worst
amazing.
takes of the year is
Oh
the
my
Ravens look better without Derrick Henry. And after week 1, what a bad take. He looks great, man.
Look, I said it a couple weeks ago.
Killing people.
Look, Derrick Henry in January should terrify the hell out of the rest of the AFC.
Yep.
Like,
only thing-
there's going to be a cold weather, shitty weather game where they're just going to run him 45 times. He's going to have 200 yards, and they're going to win like 28-7.
One thing I'm a little nervous about for the Ravens, I think they're good. I think they're in the Super Bowl contender, even though the 0-2 stuff. They have to kind of win now, and they can't really rest Henry, which they should start thinking about doing soon, because you don't want to get him hurt and then not have this in the playoffs.
It doesn't hurt their chances that the Steelers are now starting Russell Wilson's corpse.
Right.
Yeah,
That might get him a couple extra games where
The Bengals can't get out of their own way, and the Browns are who they are. The Browns have
They
a
might
fire
just
sale going.
coast, but they gotta start downshifting Henry soon because
Well, they might
do not
be
want to
able
have
to.
him hurt. Yeah, they could.
Mhm.
They could, but Commanders, they're mostly pretty good, feisty,
Yep.
real
Once
feisty.
again, nothing to be. If you're a Commanders fan out there, and I know there's literally dozens of you, you really should feel proud of this showing, because this is the Ravens. This isn't like you lost to a bad team here. This
When's
a
the last
very
time
good
the
squad.
Washington professional football team had hope in anything like this?
That's one of the reasons
RG3's
I'm all
first
in on
year.
this
Say
team, is because
RG3's
of the
rookie year.
the good feelings here, the era of good feelings that are happening now with this Washington team.
They don't make the playoffs. It's like, okay, we weren't supposed to. We wanted Jaden to look good.
Mm-hmm.
We have some tweaks to make. We got the decent coach in there.
Mhm.
Like, they're playing above sea level on
I
defense.
feel better about them than I do about like the Eagles and surely the Cowboys.
Oh,
So
boy.
I mean,
Oh boy. Has the win ever looked so bad with the Eagles? Oh my God. What a game. We're going to get to that. Okay. I call this category Let's Flex. And I got one for you, Mike, because you're first.
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a knack for making things better. Face facts, 'cause your opinion don't matter. This a maniac is gonna step on whomever.
Yeah, the 49ers take down the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
we got Bischoff music before X-Pac music. What the fuck?
Is that a Harvard hat?
It's a San Fran hat.
Oh, it is. All right. Yeah.
You did logo, my friend.
We did get Bischoff's music
From the
before
Bay
Xbox
Area.
music, but there's nothing more Mike than the Bischoff music. Like, if you read all the lyrics of the Bischoff song, it's like, this fits Mike. Mike could have been Eric Bischoff. They're the
Give him
same
a read.
person.
I wouldn't have done nearly the terrible things.
Yeah, that's true. That's the good Bischoff. 49ers take down the Seahawks. We give you the floor.
Yes, they do. Look, I think I said this to you guys. I don't know if it was last week or I said it in the group chat. The fact that Colin Cowherd, with a straight face, said on national television that he would take Bo Nix over Brock Purdy should discount his opinion from anything ever again for the rest of humanity. Absolutely asinine.
He said worse things.
No,
last year he said a quarterback who's deceased can't win the Super Bowl. That's probably his worst take of all time.
But that's true, though. A dead quarterback can't win the Super Bowl.
I guess, but geez, Louise.
No, it's not true. Anyone taking Bo Nix over Brock Purdy.
No one's doing that.
No one
so
is taking
stupid.
that deal.
Sean
No.
Payton is the only one.
Even he wouldn't.
And he's delusional.
even he wouldn't. No. Look, Purdy's good, and I'm sick and tired of people being like, he's a system quarterback. Like, he's playing with Band-Aids and dreams right now, and he is slinging the rock around out there looking good. The guy's good. Like, I'm sorry he wasn't the top pick in the draft. I'm sorry that we continue to put a whole bunch of stock in draft order and draft position. But the dude has played in basically led them to the NFC title game his rookie year, got hurt, led to a Super Bowl, and did everything he could to win that damn game. And he's playing this year with a shitty roster of sort of big in terms of like everyone's dinged up, and they're top of their division. Like, do they have some bad losses in there? Yeah, but none of them have been bad offensive losses. It's not like he's done a 5 INT game like he did against the Ravens. It's all the defense can't hold a freaking lead, also known as the Kyle Shanahan special. We're up 10, the most dangerous lead in football.
No.
Right. It's like I want to be up by 3 or 40. I feel nothing, comfort to fit into one of those two things. But no, they're good. Like, look, they're top of the division. Seattle is a paper tiger. Losses to the Rams and Cardinals are going to come back and bite us in the ass. Those are bad losses. I still contend that the loss against Minnesota was a legit loss. And the Niners didn't look bad in that game either. They just got beat by what is turning out to be a pretty damn good Vikings team.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm back, so to speak, because I'm back on the wagon again.
You're back.
Look, with Niner fanhood, man, just ride the snake.
It's a roller coaster.
It is.
So,
it is.
Watching that game too, like I feel like the Seahawks offense is actually better than I thought it was, but that defense is so much worse than even I thought.
Well, they had a bunch of guys hurt. Like in Seattle's defense, they had some dudes hurt.
So they have even less players that I've heard of on defense then, because like I can't. Did we try that? We couldn't name a single defensive
starter. No.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we had one. Reek one. That was the only one.
They're on the verge of a rebuild too. They're coming out of the Pete Carroll era.
Yeah.
Like they don't have an answer at quarterback yet. Like they're a work in progress. They're probably, despite being second in the division, they're probably right now the worst team in that division in a sense, in terms of like when you think about talent that they have on the team.
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals have more talent. They just can't ever get it. Can't ever get it to freaking work. I think the Cardinals are way better on defense than Seattle is, and some people think Kyler Murray is an NFL quarterback. I disagree with them. They got they got Marvin Harrison's kid for now until he falls over again.
Concussion.
That was that was never a good sign. But no, like it's still the Niners division. No one else has stepped up to run away with it.
All right. Well, everything's back to normal in your world.
Hell yeah, Tony Bennett and Joe Montana.
Everything's back.
Once again, not Xbox song. This would have been much better with Xbox music.
You think Xbox? Let's try it.
Throw it up there.
Oh, no, it's not better.
It definitely works.
It's not better, Mark. Jesus.
In my head, though, Tony Bennett is the one singing this.
Yeah. Oh my God. God, that was disturbing.
Well, fun fact, right before, because I was looking for the hat, and I was like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "My Niners hat." She goes, "Didn't they win, like something about like who won the Super Bowl in 1989?" I'm like, "Niners." She looks at me. She goes, "That's not right." I go look it up. And she's like, "How did you know that?"
I drink and I know things.
Pretty much, except I'm not a midget.
All right, Flex. The Texans crush the Patriots. Thank you for bringing the hair back in.
Well,
Texans. There we go. Texans crush the Patriots. Patriots are bad, but Drake May, he shook off some rust and he looked okay. He looked better than Jacoby Brissett.
Had pulled some of their starters though, so you take that because that's when he started to come around, is when those backups came in. But he did look. I mean, he did not look good the first, but that was also his first ever action. So, reserving judgment on him. I think
there's potential. I think there's certainly potential there, but that New England offensive line is terrible.
They're
so bad. They're bad.
Yep.
They're Chicago Bear level bad.
I've mentioned it before on this podcast, but like when you look at like the talent level of this Patriots team, they're dead last. I would put them below the Panthers. I'd put them in terms of how much talent is on the squad. They got nothing. But here's the thing: did you hear Jared Mayo after the game? Did you hear what he was talking about?
What did he say?
He was like, "You guys got to realize, it's like I told you before the season starts. Like This is not going to be a 1-year thing. We're not going anywhere this year. Like you have to give us time. You have to understand this is a very, very young team, and we're going to have to work through a lot of this, and it's not going to happen overnight." And I kind of like that honesty because you listen to like Doug Peterson. He's like, all we need is one good game, and everything's back on track. It's like Mayo's just like, we're not good. It's going to be an issue. It just until we can get more talent. So
Doug Peterson is like that woman in Requiem for a Dream who's just thinking it's going to be the next poll that's going to win.
Yeah, Bobby Darin at the Copa tomorrow.
Something
Bobby Darin at the Copa.
Mark, something you and I have discussed in the past with different franchises that I don't think we've ever discussed on this podcast. Are you suggesting that the Patriots are in crash the bus mode?
They're not like 90s Bengals.
Oh God. Crash the bus.
Who would even take the bus? Who would even take the flight? Take the car? Is there anybody in the Patriots? Drake May maybe?
It's only proven. That's what I'm saying. Are we in crash the bus territory?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At least the original Crash the Bus had Corey Dillon taking an airplane.
It did. That's true.
And somebody else. I think there was a receiver. I think there was a receiver.
I think it was just Corey Dillon.
Wasn't it Pickens there at the time?
They had a Pickens. They had a Carl Pickens. They had Carl Pickens.
Yeah.
Okay, Flex. Sorry. Bucks destroy the Saints. Wow.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler started out okay. He kind of deceived me a little bit. I'm like, is that Carr?
That's how he does.
Is he out there? Is that Carr? And then I don't know if it's his fault. They just got fucking annihilated in the running game. Oh my God.
Wasn't that bad though?
He wasn't that bad.
For his first start,
even humorously bad, which is what we really wanted.
He was sort of competent.
Right. And
they just got killed on defense.
Oh yeah. Well, that has been the problem with this Saints team, is they just can't stop anybody. It seems like every other year they just can't stop anybody. So
eventually they can't stop the run, and they got annihilated by the third string running back on the Bucks.
And what's funny though is like Baker Mayfield's stats. He had like 3 touchdowns, but he also had like 3 interceptions.
He didn't play that well.
Not looking great, but it was still more than enough to beat the Saints.
Yeah, it was ugly. Ugh, the Saints things have really gone badly for the Saints. They won 2 games, and we were like, "Wow, look at these guys!" Right? And they've lost every game since.
That always happens though. There's always a team that wins like the first 2 and then craters out. It's just the minute that game ended though, I'm like, Davante's not going there. So
no. Oh no,
especially not with their no money.
Yeah, right.
They can't afford him. Right. They can't afford him. All right. The NFC North, new category, can't lose, baby. They can't lose at all. The Bears beat the Jaguars. We'll start on the Bears side. They roll in and roll it.
Fucking medal. Come on.
They roll the Jags. They roll the Jags. Caleb, a couple weeks in a row here now, looking pretty good. So we can't play. Caleb's dad is going to be so sad because
he looked
it's
good.
working.
Yeah.
Did he throw 4 touchdown passes?
I think so.
Yeah. He did.
Cole Kmet had like 2 at halftime. It was if Cole Kmet is lighting you up,
that's a problem, Jax D.
I think Dougie Fresh is on a real short leash.
Oh,
yeah.
How he's not getting on the plane back to America.
This is
right?
going so bad. I don't even think he gets an offensive coordinator. I think quarterback coach is the best he's gonna.
He's not going to coach again. He won't coach again. This is like a Frank Reich situation here.
In the back of the booth with Hackett,
right?
Which is sort of amazing in the sense of the man won a Super Bowl.
I know,
not that long ago.
Like not that long ago.
Somewhere Michael Lombardi is giggling.
At what point do you start really though? And maybe it's already happened, but like you got to start pointing the finger at Trevor Lawrence here too, because he is just making some dumb decisions.
I know, and every time they get momentum, he does something dumb.
And it's him. It's not like obviously that this is not.
It wasn't all him because
it wasn't.
No, Ingram had the fumble.
I'll show you in a second.
He was just making some like third down. They were horrible, and he was just making dumb reads. and that's on him. He's got to read that better. And it's just, I don't know. I didn't even get the impression that like the Bears were doing that much to disguise their defense. He was just making the wrong calls.
They had a chance to they get the ball after halftime, and he threw a terrible pick right away to kill any momentum.
Right. Well, and like they got the Patriots next week, so that's a nice recovery game.
Dear God, are you kidding me? Patriots, Jaguars in London.
Yeah, wow.
Why?
What did they do to deserve this?
Well,
look,
Ryan,
got to violate some sort of treaty.
Yeah,
Special
right.
Relationship.
Treaty of 1812 is now void.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Ryan, can we make a note now to not talk about that game next week?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we just skip over it. Well, Doug Peterson's going to get fired after that game, and he's going to have to ride coach on a fucking boat on the way back to America.
The Jags don't have a bye until week 12.
Oh my God, this team.
What's the worst mode of transportation Doug Peterson can get on?
To cross the Atlantic?
To cross the Atlantic because he's not a Jag.
Paddle boat.
Hot air balloon?
He's not a Jag anymore. He has to take a Zeppelin across the Atlantic.
Auto gyro from the Russian consulate.
This is what you deserve, Doug. The cons are just like, we've booked you in a steel cage match.
Right.
On Wednesday.
Against Moxley. He's going to bring a
Calcutta.
Moxley's going to bring a clear plastic bag for this.
A barbed wire bat, and you have your hands tied behind your back.
Doug. Take him to the owner's suite and then do what they do to Joe Pesci in Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah. He's going down. It's going to happen. NFC North can't lose. The Packers destroy the Cardinals. We talked about it a tiny little bit, but boy, Jordan Love threw one pass. We said this last year. He has that it thing. I don't know what he does. He has that it factor. He was backpedaling with his legs are not planted. He's backpedaling and just wings one up, touchdown. He's just all upper body. You see who tried to do that? Somebody else tried to do that and threw an interception. I forget who it was, but
Trevor Lawrence.
It could have been. Love, boy, does he have like a unbelievable arm when he needs it. But
he seems pretty recovered. I mean, that's good to see. You know,
he did say something about like the brace is still bothering him. Not that his knees bothering him, but like having the brace on is messing.
I get that because he's never worn a brace. Like some quarterbacks wear it like in high school and they wear it all the way through their career. If you've never worn one, I can see how that would fuck with you. But he'll get used to it. He's fine.
Romeo Dobbs. He's back. He's got 2 touchdowns. What's he going to complain about now?
Doesn't like the laundry detergent they use.
I'm sick of wearing green, guys.
These gloves are itchy.
This water's too wet.
Yeah.
Why is there so much cheese?
Why is Lambeau not a dome?
Yeah. These rubber pants are too hot.
Where are the bitches at in Green Bay?
I like complaining Romeo.
Complaining Romeo.
Yeah. Right.
Karen Romeo. He's like a Karen.
Romeo. Yeah, right. The sun is too bright. Can you turn it down?
I don't like all this air conditioning.
Why is there so much snow?
That candle is too sweet smelling.
I don't like cake. That's it. She's like one of my aunts. Romeo Dobbs is my aunt. We've gotten you everything you need. No.
There's too many ugly people here.
I wanted 3 touchdowns. Or maybe he's a toddler. Maybe he's not a Karen. Maybe he's like a 4-year-old.
We saw Kyler Murray earlier. Oh, by the way, for that Mets game, when Pete Alonso runs, he runs just like Kyler Murray.
He does a little bit. The only thing that makes Pete different is that he's so much bigger than Kyler Murray.
He's a big boy. He is a big boy.
When he casually took off for that when he got the insurance run in that game.
Yep.
I've never seen anybody slowly. He turned third and then turned it on as only Pete can. But before that, he was just.
He's one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes my dad and I used to talk about playing baseball. You see him every now and again that like if you watched that guy run in a vacuum, you would think, wow, that guy's running his ass off. And then you see him in the game and you realize he's just not going very fast.
Yeah.
Right. When you have the background to really show how fast he's moving, it's like, oh God, Pete.
He's picking him up and putting him down. He's just not getting anywhere.
Stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
NFC North can't lose. The Lions. Oh boy.
Oh God.
Oh, boy.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh boy. The Lions had Greg once brought this up, like a vendetta that we can get behind. A particularly special kind of spite where they just annihilate the Cowboys and just continue to run it up the score, do all kinds of shit. They were pissed about that loss last year because they said in the playoffs, we wish it was the Cowboys. They wanted to fucking destroy these guys. And they did. And they clowned on them at the same time because they're throwing passes to linemen left and right.
Yep.
Penei Sewell. They're trying to get Penei Sewell in the end zone.
Like
they're throwing it to Decker in the fourth quarter they're up 47-9. They're trying to get him a touchdown. They threw a touchdown to Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth quarter.
It's like when Coughlin saw Jimmy Johnson on the other sideline in the playoffs and remembered all those moments.
All the things that Miami ever did to Boston College.
Yep.
That's what this felt like.
It was a thumping.
When it kicked off, I said, I think the Lions are going to get petty. I think they're going to get petty in this one. And they did. I don't know why they hate them so much, because wasn't the refs' fault? Not really the Cowboys' fault.
It's because the Lions are only guaranteed a nationally televised game once a year on Thanksgiving, and the Cowboys try to steal their thunder every year and also play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. The problem was here that Aiden Hutchinson is out for the year.
Yeah,
because he broke his leg. I don't know what the timeline is of when they if they could have pulled him or not, but it's not good. One of the best defensive players in the entire league is gone now off this Super Bowl contender, and that's not good.
Defensive player, you hope that obviously because
I think with the break he'll be okay.
Right, that's what I'm about to say. Like at least it's not like a muscle thing. I mean, it is a break that does heal. You can reinforce that, so I think he'll be okay. But they said 4 to 6 months. I mean, even if they, the Lions make the Super Bowl, he's not coming back for that. So
it would be tough. It would be tough. It was an ugly injury. So
yeah.
I'm not really sure where that happened in the game. They could have maybe pulled their starters and maybe it wouldn't have happened, but it's not good, especially because this defense in this game was good, but it's a little shaky.
It is when they play competent offenses, not the fucking Cowboys.
All right, let's shit on the Cowboys now. Go ahead. Are they officially the
Cedars Branch Tzatziki dip of the week? There's two.
There's two.
Yeah. One of them is once again, I think 4-time award winner Jerry Jones.
Oh, he needs it this week. Jerry needs it.
You get absolutely fucking obliterated on national television. And then thinking, and speaking of friendly media, we'll come back to this comment in a moment. He goes out there and gets real shitty with the guys who work for him. And his excuse was, I'll take it from the fans, but not the people I pay.
Oh, my God.
Apparently, if you work for Jerry, you're not allowed to have, any opinion other than what Jerry wants. No, Jerry has just been clowning himself this season between staring at the Johnsons of players at various scouting functions to 2 colossal, horrible deals, and now this media spat and depantsing. Jerry Jones, you're the dip.
I love that it happened on his birthday, too. That was real funny.
Oh. Happy birthday, 4-time award-winning dip of the week, Jerry Johnson.
4 times. And it's very valid because he's done
hope
stupid
you
shit.
Die. I want the Rolling Stones.
By the way, we are 6 weeks into the season, gentlemen. Yeah. And I haven't done it every week, and he's won it 4 times.
Well, they went all in, guys. I don't know if you remember that.
They went all in. Yeah.
Yep,
they went all in.
Henry or anything, but we went all in.
Derrick Henry was on Dan Patrick and said they never called me.
They went all in with 2-7 offsuit.
Yeah, right. See who the Cowboys play this week?
Dangerously.
Who are they up against?
The Niners.
University of Arkansas.
No. Monday Night Football. Another
talk about a team
Dallas
that
game.
would love to clown them again.
I hope we cock
It
slap
is in
them.
San Francisco as well.
Oh God!
I hate the goddamn Cowboys. I hope they suffer.
The hat will be forward.
It's not a statue of Alfred Dolge, Mike. Come on.
You wouldn't show that town my glorious wang.
And I never
That is
did.
a Drew quote.
It is. It's true.
All right. Category is Flacco. The Colts. Flacco comes in. The Colts beat the Titans. Drew and I benefited from that in fantasy.
Yeah.
Colts beat the Titans.
Hashtag elite.
Colts look a lot better when Flacco's in there.
Sure,
There's no doubt about it. And he has.
That's why we're going right back to Anthony Richardson this week. Congrats,
I
Colts.
mean,
Good job.
they kind of have
But I
no
can't-
choice.
I know they have.
I can't fault the Colts for doing what I said the Steelers should do, which is, get the money out of the guy you're paying the money to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, boy, the Titans. We gotta get him out of there. Will Levis.
The Titans are a team with no identity. For 7 straight years, they were a run-first, smash-mouth team, and then they changed their quarterback to a guy who can't throw and got rid of their running back who made that entire engine run. So what the hell are they now? I don't think they know.
Fired the coach who gave the team a sense of identity.
I
think the firing. Vrabel was not a bad coach. Like they were team in contention. Didn't they make an AFC title game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. With Tannehill.
Yeah. Ryan fucking Tannehill.
I say this as somebody whose favorite franchise is treading water. The Titans are treading water. They don't know which way to swim to shore right now.
Yeah, I think that is a good point about them, the lack of identity. I mean, they were in this game. It's not like they got blown out. They had a chance to win it right at the end, but directionless, I would say.
Here's a very interesting stat. Calvin Ridley, I believe, not sure exactly because it doesn't say. He was targeted, I think, 10 times. 0 catches for 0 yards.
I mean,
has that ever happened? Is that even possible?
He'll snap out of that. He's a good player.
I don't know. He did a lot of bitching post-game about how he needs targets earlier than that.
That's a lot of
the
targets
worst thing
and no
that
catches.
team can do, though, is force passes to him because
100%.
that never works.
Remember the Randy ratio?
Yeah.
Will's going to come back on this show. Next category, I didn't know what to call this. I started calling it "Stop." They're already dead. But the Eagles beat the Browns.
Ugh.
This game was bad.
Beat or just like outlasted?
Meandered through to a win.
Let's start with the Browns. The Browns look horrible. I think they're 0 for the last 30 on third downs. 0 for the last 30. Yet they're playing Deshaun. He's given them the best chance to win. Are they trying to get him killed?
I mean, you can't tell me famous Jameis can't
he can't do
give you
better
a
than that.
slightly better chance.
He can do a little bit better.
Yeah,
At the very least, you can't tell me that he'll be worse.
Right.
Can't be any worse.
I mean, they're just stuck. And by the way, I'm here for this. Like, I really want to watch the Browns and their fans and their organization to suffer because of what they did. But it's still like, it's weird that you're lying to us.
But I'm sure there's fans who didn't want this and were like, oh, God, we got to deal with this. There were fans that cheered him, though.
Yeah,
and they deserve everything that they can get.
A lot of fans.
They barely beat this Browns team. And Nick Sirianni went Sirianni.
Oh, yeah.
What was that all about?
He started yelling at the fans during the game because the fans were booing him because he did a bad job. Again. He started screaming at the fans. Then he did a press conference where he brought his kid up there.
Yeah.
A critical press conference. You bring your kid up to the podium and then try to shield yourself from criticism by bringing your kid up there. And then yesterday he said, oh yeah, that was a bad look by me. Yeah, you think? Yelling at your own fans during a win?
Fired. He's 100% fired.
What does he contribute to this team? He doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the defense. What does he do?
Jalen Hurts still hates him. Like, very obviously still hates him. So this isn't going anywhere.
He's like a baseball manager in the American League.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Sorry, Ryan.
Aaron Boone.
Good job.
He's the clapper.
Playing the baseball. Can
I'd
you
just
guys play harder?
Currently, Aaron Boone is
Yes,
winning.
Mr. Simpson.
Yeah.
Currently, Aaron Boone has a lead.
Well, if Tom Landers hat won't motivate you, I don't know what will.
And listen, I understand now that National League managers don't do that much either, but at least in the past, in my lifetime,
they used to. So, Sirianni, like, how close are we here? Are we 3 losses away?
Oh, I think he makes the season.
End of season?
I think he gets through the season.
I think they make the playoffs as like a 6 seed and get destroyed by somebody. Probably the Commanders. Actually, that would do it. Actually, if the Commanders blow them out in the playoffs,
that would be fun.
Right.
I'd take that. I would take that.
I mean, I would.
They've already had their bye. So they play the Giants, the Bengals, and then the Jaguars, and the Cowboys and the Commanders. So if he loses like 2 of those games, how does he not get fired?
Yeah.
He's maybe 3 losses away. If he has a really bad loss to like the Giants or something unexpectedly, I don't know.
Well, Gigante says muy bueno.
I hate this guy. He's my number 1 most hated person in the NFL right now. Now that there's no more Belichick and there's no more Brady, and they're just kind of like in the fringe.
Las Vegas Raiders owner Tom Brady, please.
Yes, that's right.
Something going around that he might have to make a choice between ownership and and being an announcer.
Drew, I'm going to challenge your minority owner to a fight with my minority owner. So it's going to be Vince Carter taking on Tom Brady, and we'll just say a hockey game or something.
You have Vince and Tracy McGrady.
And Tracy McGrady.
Yeah,
you get T-Mac.
Yes,
and Josie Altidore, who less people give a shit about, and I'm surprised has money. Yeah. But yeah, you get Vince and T-Mac reunited, and it feels so good.
Right.
That's great. Can Yi Jean-Leon buy the Panthers? Does he have a group?
What a group out of Tepper's cold dead hand.
If he really needed a group, he would have the backing of like the Chinese sport ministry.
Yeah,
he could buy the
we
Panthers.
need that.
Sure.
Yeah,
buy the Panthers.
The Chinese Panthers. They're not even in Carolina anymore.
The Guangdong Panthers.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The Wuhan Golden Dragon.
Yi Jean-Leon.
By the way, sidebar, talking about basketball players playing in that part of the world, when Boogie Cousins started being an all-star for the Taiwan Beer Leopards, I looked for a Beer Leopards hat in the worst way, and you can't get them in the United States.
Boogie.
Oh, there are ways.
I love Boogie. All right, this category is called Jesus Take the Headset. The Chargers defeated the Broncos.
Mike Chargers, baby.
And the reason I say that is because Jim Harbaugh was questionable to return.
After
stories differ.
What?
He may or may not have shat himself.
Did he poop his khakis?
I mean, let's bring up the meme. Why not both?
I was going to say, those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Right. You could definitely have a heart attack and shit yourself.
My arrhythmia.
Oh, God.
He ran out of there, and everyone was like, what is he? It's like the Fiedler. Heart attack / diarrhea.
Yeah.
I told you from the beginning of this season, the Chargers are going to deliver more bang for their buck than you can possibly imagine. And they have. They've given us so much material to play with.
I can't remember who announced this game, but the announcer didn't know what to say. So 3 separate times said, this game is weird at the beginning of the game.
Sure was.
This game is weird. Yes, it is. Jesus take the headset. The Chargers beat Jesus, and the Chargers come together, and they beat the Broncos.
I sent you that halftime stat of Bo Nix, where he was like 3 of 17 for 23 yards and an interception.
Jesus.
He did get better. Negative. He did get better, but still,
my man ain't good.
He's not that good. He's not that good, but the defense of the Broncos is not bad.
No,
so they're hanging in there with that.
Yeah.
Sad news, though. It's time for the McConkey update.
McConkey
went 4 for 43, but left with a concussion. Oh no, McConkey!
I was excited to hear what this week's episode is going to be.
What is this going to be?
Episode is McConkey is severely injured during an armed robbery, and doctors inform him that any further surgeries could leave him paralyzed and having to leave the force.
Oh shit!
It's a cliffhanger.
That's right.
Are we off next week? How does that work if McConkey doesn't play?
There doesn't have to be continuity in McConkey.
It's a clip show. It's a clip show.
Next week
is just a retrospective.
It's just his dreams. His dreams from Korea.
He's in a coma. The entire thing is a Korean coma dream.
He thinks he's in a POW camp still, and he's like,
God damn it! I haven't been able to get the kimchi right since.
Fucking reverse Jacob's Ladder. Spoilers.
McConkey. He's in a coma next week. He's in a coma next week, dreaming about Korea.
TV's Patrick Duffy.
Oh,
yay!
Love that guy.
Is this a crossover episode?
I wish it was. All right, the hat is backwards.
An autistic child.
Okay. The head is backwards. Steelers beat the Raiders, then they traded away Davante Adams. Aiden O'Connell sure wasn't the answer here.
I need a recording of me just saying Brock Bowers is good. The rest of the Raiders aren't. Let's move on.
And you yield your time. You're going to yield your time again here.
And I keep forgetting Max Crosby. Max Crosby's really good.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Well, at least you have him.
What else are you going to say? They're a bad team. They have no quarterback. They have two quarterbacks. They have no quarterback. So that's it. That's the end of their season. And they could still
pop the champagne cold since Bo popped his head.
Is the Raiders valid? Okay.
I mean,
they crazy though.
They could still fall back asswards, grind their way into some more wins, but they will not be a factor.
If the draft were right now, the Raiders would still pick 11th. That just shows like how shit some of these teams are.
Can't get Cam Ward at number 11.
Yeah, no, right. Who has the number 1 pick? Do you guys know?
Jacksonville.
Nope.
They're the only team with 1 win, aren't
Patriots.
Oh, there's 4 teams with 1 win. There's actually 6 teams with 1 win.
Patriots. Panthers.
Patriots have the first. Panthers have the 4th. It goes Patriots, Browns, Jaguars, Carolina, Rams.
Oh, the Rams. I forgot the Rams.
Top 5.
Ouch. There's a rumor going around that Stafford wants to be traded. Have you heard that? You think that's true at all?
Traded to what? Being a quarterback assistant at Georgia?
Yeah. One guy who, we'll talk when we get to the Rams. I want to talk about it because I have a theory about one guy there.
Anyway. Do the Rams want Carson Beck that bad? I don't.
Maybe they didn't play this week, so we don't get to the Rams, right?
All right. Well, let me talk about it now. Then I forgot. So I could see Cooper Kupp get traded. Like now that he's healthy, somebody could use a possession receiver, right? And he's not going to do anything there. You might as well get rid of
Kansas City. Please don't send him to Kansas City.
They won't do that.
They don't have any money. Cooper Kupp does have a contract, so basically the Niners. That's all he's going to do.
They pay him in Skittles because he doesn't know what city he's in after that concussion, but he does have a contract.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Speaking of shit.
Fire, but at least that hot mess can keep you warm. Those lucky devils and comas don't have to watch this shit show anymore.
But I still do. The Panthers lose to the Falcons. Again, they look sort of competent, but boy, it just like when you're a bad team and you get hurt, there's nobody there left to fill those voids.
Right.
They were close. Dalton threw a pick. They were never going to, they can't, if they're down 2-1 score, I don't think they can come back. So yeah, Falcons take it.
Back to Bryce Young.
It's going to happen. He's going to come back in.
Yeah.
I don't think Dalton was that bad, but
slightly less hopeless than it did.
I mean, they have some things that are okay. It's just they don't have a defense. Everyone's hurt. The entire defense is hurt except for J.C. Horn, which is surprising because usually it's the reverse. But he had said, like, we let them down. Like, the offense is actually doing things, and we can't stop anyone now. And I'm very frustrated. I'm like, there's just no horse. They've traded every good player away. They don't draft well. They don't have anyone on defense, so it's not going to get any better. And their center's out for the year now too, so that didn't help either.
Yeah.
So there you go. One more category: lay bar closed.
Yeah,
closed for repairs. Dayball trashed the place. He let Joe Burrow run for a 47-yard touchdown. There's literally, if you watch that clip, there's a giant player who runs in the opposite direction of the play. I'm not really sure why. There's nobody in the camera. There's nobody there. There's a famous QB like fake run touchdown by I think Dave Craig from the 90s who couldn't run.
No,
faked out somebody. I think it was the Seahawks. He faked him out so well he ran for a 93-yard touchdown, and literally the entire view of him, there's nobody in view. That's what this was like. Dave Craig running for a touchdown.
I remember when Chad Pennington juked.
I was just going to say Chad Pennington in that Bills game.
Right. One of those moments. All right. I don't know what else there is to say. The Giants aren't that good. They don't have neighbors. They're really not that good. They
oh, my God.
Singletary. They're really not that good.
Yep.
Defense is okay-ish. I mean, the Bengals.
Dayball's gone. There's no way this team sticks with him after this season. They want a full, clean slate. These
Bengals really want to step on their own dicks, and they didn't let them do it.
I know. Like, you watch this game, and I don't feel any better about the Bengals. I feel like they really tried to fuck this up again, but they ran into like the Kings of fucking it up.
Yeah, it's the ultimate step on its dick matchup. Who will do it first?
Brian Daboll.
There's a dick stepping suspended on a pole.
Yeah. Oh God. Calm down. Judy Bagwell on the other side for some reason. What? All right, those are all the categories. Time for segments. There's no Greg's bets because he's doing stuff. I have a very quick broadcasting moments selection here for you. There's a couple of good ones though. So here we are. The first thing is these Lions sending in Dan Skipper up 47-9. He goes out for a pass, and they try to get it to him. I love it. Oh, here it is. Will Levis photo collage. The Spider-Man. Okay. First thing.
The ball boy.
The first thing that happens is he kills the ball boy.
Yeah.
He kills this ball boy.
Yep.
That guy, he dead. He doesn't check on the guy at all. He
doesn't.
He flips the ball to the ref and then does like a stupid first down thing right in front of this guy's corpse.
Yeah.
And then a few later, he comes out with the old Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What? Look at this guy here. Look at this face. Oh, God. This is Will Levis. This is fun. Have you scored 20 points in a game this season? Everyone, yes, of course. Browns, no.
I don't think that's going to get any better.
Look. Until the Browns score more points than Deshaun Watson has accusers.
Oh,
oh boy.
Wow. That's a.
I mean, I'm here for it, but oh boy.
That's a good one. That's good.
Look, I didn't do it. Sorry.
All right, the Jaguars dropped not one, not two, but 4 touchdowns in London. Here they all are.
Well, again, is this entirely Trevor Lawrence's fault?
No, this is not.
No,
this is not.
This would make you think
Christian Kirk being bad. Did I see Gabe Davis drop a touchdown? That's weird.
Brian Thomas Jr. dropped 2 touchdowns. That one as well. Gabe Davis dropped one here, I believe. Look at. Oh no, that was Kirk. Right in his hands.
Oh, that's Kirk.
But don't worry, the NFL and the cons are successfully going to sell football to English people by showing them the Jaguars.
Right there. Oh my God,
that's
this killed me. This is Poochie at the end of the game. He got bloody somehow, and it formed an L on his hand as he put it to his head. Look at this.
It's the mark of the devil.
It's
the Poochie.
Name is curse, right?
What's that fancy frog in the bottom right? I'm more
really?
I like that.
Let's get them in as a sponsor. And then finally, this is for you, Mark. The Bills already have the chemistry between Josh Allen and Amari Cooper. Look at this throw. Look at Amari Cooper catches one-handed.
Oh, that's fun. When was that?
It must have been years ago.
Yeah, but
it's
been that long. He was with the Browns.
Buffalo in Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, that was that. Oh, the snow game. All right.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. They had to play in Detroit. Yeah.
Things that we didn't talk about that happened to the Bills like a week ago. Did anybody else catch the moment in the telecast where the referee overturned a call and said Josh Allen was out of bounds before he fumbled the basketball? Did anybody else see that?
Yes.
I swear to God. He said the runner was out of bounds before he fumbled the basketball. And I was hey.
I could see Allen sneak out a basketball, see if that works.
I think I've heard he's a decent ball player.
He probably is. He's good at everything.
He's no Jay Cutler.
He's tall.
Ian Eagle always drops like a really fun call in every week. This is me going full nerd broadcast, but he like calls a play about Aiden O'Connell and he's like, hey, he's back. And then he throws a pick to Jackson on the Steelers and he goes, and the wheels have come off. It's just like a great call. And the wheels have come off. All right. It's time for a Stripe Spiral. Lots going on.
Was a busy weekend. Was a busy weekend, though not as busy as the previous weekend. But we start the way we always start, with the national countdown, and then there were 11. Ohio State losing means there are now only 11 undefeated teams in the country. We have not yet. I know, Mark. Just say it.
Liberty.
We have not yet gotten to the part where all 11 undefeated teams are ranked. Liberty, one of the few not appearing in the AP Top 25 poll this week, but we are rapidly approaching the part of the season as these teams start to knock each other out, where that's going to be an impossibility to keep them out.
A grave injustice.
Yes.
Now, here's what gets interesting with the undefeated teams. Two of the undefeated teams, as discussed, are Army and Navy. So I grant there's a huge caveat coming here, which is that both Army and Navy would have to defeat Notre Dame for this to be possible. But there is a burgeoning discussion happening about what if Army and Navy run the table and have to play each other in the American Conference Championship game, and then play each other the following week in their regular season game.
Fantastic.
I love this.
Both of those games have to happen. You can't consolidate them because two different broadcast entities own the rights to those two different games.
I love this.
That's fun.
So
I love everything about them.
They would both have to beat Notre Dame for that to be possible, which seems unlikely. But hey, we've gone this far already.
I mean, Northern Illinois did it.
Exactly. And on the other hand, we've also started keeping track of, and then there were 3. There are 3 college teams who have yet to win a game this season.
Oh, no.
Which is the University of Texas at El Paso, go Miners, the Kent State Golden Flashes, Maction, and the brand new to the FBS, Kennesaw State. I don't even know what their team name is.
They have a fancy script. That's all I know. It's like their logo.
Cool S interlock K. Yeah. I dig it, but I have no clue what their team name is. I'm going to say Mountaineers.
Sounds right.
Then there were 3.
The Owls.
Sure.
The Owls.
Great.
Temple's pissed.
Temple, FAU. Bunch of people are pissed. So there are 3 teams who have not yet won a game this season. All of our best hopes to them. In the meantime, in a weekend where some other things were notable, Alabama quietly escapes a close game with South Carolina on a late Jalen Milroe touchdown. The Red River rivalry ended up being a laugher where Texas not only beat Oklahoma, but then conscientiously decided to put it on them. Quinn Ewers comes back and he's like, oh, you thought I wasn't the Heisman Trophy winner? Hold on.
Yeah.
George, Oklahoma.
Yeah. USC puts up a surprisingly unexpected fight and takes Penn State to overtime. Now, Penn State is traditionally that team who will absolutely piss one down their leg against a team that they shouldn't. And I thought it was going to be this game when it was close at the end, but they didn't. So credit to James Franklin. He still got Penn State undefeated and playing deep into the season. But USC suddenly looked game. Speaking of the Florida Gators, who started the season shitty, they took Tennessee to overtime in another tight game. So Florida's kind of turned it around. They're not good, but they're not as bad as Florida State. Colorado may be good. Kansas State's better than them on a talent standpoint, particularly on defense, but they took Kansas State to overtime late out in Boulder. So maybe Colorado is actually pretty good. Like Shador looked okay. Travis Hunter didn't play for stretches of the game, and they were still all right. Colorado was missing Jimmy Horn Jr. and some other dudes, and they still looked okay. But the biggest game of the week, Ohio State and Oregon. If you watch this game in a vacuum and nobody was keeping score, I would have told you Ohio State was the better of the two teams. Mm-hmm. They looked sharper, they looked better, they looked more in command. Dylan Gabriel didn't look that good. But then suddenly you blinked and Oregon was ahead, and then they ended up winning the game. So is Oregon actually better than Ohio State if they play that game 5 times? I don't know. But part of it is, and I admit it, I'm like 2% biased against Ohio State just because I'm sick of them, because I think they're boring, and I think Ryan Day is just a grumpy average white guy. Like, you can, in the NFL, you can't really be a coach and have this great vociferous personality. You get kind of ostracized in a couple of years, but I still like my crazy nonsense college coaches. Mm-hmm. And I just don't get that from Ryan Day. And so
you need more Mike Leach.
Yes. May he rest in peace. And so if you are looking forward to next weekend, 2 major games on the schedule, Alabama plays Tennessee. That will be a real, how good is Alabama really kind of game. And by the way, if you were thinking that Vandy was going to absolutely shit after beating Alabama, they didn't. They beat Kentucky on the road. And Kentucky's game. They're not a bad squad. But then the big game of the weekend is Georgia and Texas.
Ooh,
that'll be a fun one. Set your DVRs for that one.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, Mike, you got a dip of the week already in. Do you have a second dip of the week?
Yeah, Woody Johnson.
Just Ambassador Johnson.
Excuse me, Ambassador Woody Johnson.
How dare you?
Don't
embarrass him. Only in England.
Well, I'll embarrass him anywhere I damn well please. This is America. Again, just nothing against Davante Adams, but what the hell are you doing? What are they doing? They are not, this is just going to be a disaster. Aaron Rodgers is going to break a tibia in 2 weeks or something, and then you're going to have Davante Adams there taking up cap space into his early 40s,
catching touchdowns from Ty God.
Oh,
my boy,
it's all going to work out.
Or Jordan Travis. You don't know.
You know what? God, listen, I know we talk about how screwed the Jets are, but if Jordan Travis can come back from injury and he's any good at all, they should give him a look, because he was going to be like a late first, early second round pick before he got blown up.
Yep. It's a perfect draft pick, actually, because it doesn't matter what you do for 2 years.
Right. Exactly.
We'll see in 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah, anyway, Mike, continue. Sorry.
No. It's we've covered Woody Johnson's enough in this podcast. I think Bella. I said this to Ryan before we got on, and I don't think you guys will fully agree with me, but I think this broadcast version of Belichick is making him seem slightly less terrible, because he's just actually really, really funny. And he still has this visceral disdain for the Jets, and just him commenting on with this ownership group, with this owner, their philosophy is ready, shoot, aim. And I just lost it, because that is without a doubt an accurate description of the New York Jets. They are just wildly shooting into the wilderness with no goddamn plan.
They're like that scene in My Cousin Vinny where he comes out and shoots at the owl in the leather jacket.
Yep, exactly.
There's a GIF I saw. It was basically just, you talk about where Belichick is going to go this offseason. And there was a list of them, and it just said, it was a clipboard that says Jets. And it says somebody crossed the name off. I was like, not going back to New York, that's for sure.
Nope.
The Jets. Maybe the Giants.
Maybe the Giants.
I still think they're going to fire Dabo.
They're definitely going to fire Dabo.
And I think it's a good spot for him. The ownership group's going to like him. They're going to let him do what he needs to.
Isn't it funny that all 3 NFC East teams could fire their coach, and they're all going to try to get Belichick?
Bill Belichick's going to still drink at a place called Bar, but it's going to be lowercase.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. With a period at the end.
Yes,
100%. A is an ampersand.
Yeah, right.
Now he's got that young hip girlfriend.
And his dog.
Yeah.
Both young hip as in cool, but also she has young hips.
Right.
She'll have no idea how he will never be around after he takes this job, whatever it is. All right. Sad boy boat. The USS Norvell. Oh, sorry. Football Fubar. I skipped it. Football Fubar, Mark. Do a football Fubar.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Drew. Ryan.
Oh.
So when I do these football Fubars, I do a lot of prep. I look up at least 2 articles,
if you will.
At least 2 articles, and I go to Wikipedia. What more do you want from me? But here's the thing. For this induction, I really didn't have to do anything. I could have just said, take it away, Ryan. because today we're going to introduce and induct David Tepper into Football Fubar.
Oh my god.
So prior to purchasing the Carolina Panthers, David Tepper gained his wealth by first becoming an analyst for Goldman Sachs and parlayed that into starting his own hedge fund business called Appaloosa Management. Tepper turned his business into a global powerhouse before purchasing 5% of his hometown Pittsburgh Steelers in 2009. Now, he wanted more control over a sports team, and he got it. He purchased the Carolina Panthers from former owner Jerry Richardson in 2018.
Disgraced owner.
And then, as Ryan,
under extreme duress.
You were probably happy because Richardson was a bigoted, sexist, chronic abuser who had multiple lawsuits against him for misconduct in the workplace.
The funny thing about Richardson, though, is like he was a beloved owner, and then one day all this stuff comes out, and he's gone. It's just like, okay.
And I'm sure, Ryan, you thought surely Tepper would be better.
I thought he would be. I thought it was good. He has lots of money. He was with the Steelers. How dumb could he be?
So things started off okay, as they typically do. And at his introductory press conference, he said all the right things. I found out one of his first decisions was replacing the field at Bank of America Stadium with a grass one that composed of 50% grass that grew from North Carolina and 50% grass that grew from South Carolina. Okay.
Yes,
so
upon his big things is uniting the Carolinas.
Yes. Upon installation of this new field. Upon installation of this new field in 2019, former MVP and face of the franchise Cam Newton got his foot stuck in a divot during practice and exacerbated a previous injury that would eventually cause him to go on IR for the rest of the season and effectively end his career. So not a great start with the whole field idea. Tepper announced in 2020 the construction of a state-of-the-art practice facility for the Panthers in Rock Hill, South Carolina. He spent 2 years threatening to move the team out of the Carolinas if neither of the states paid to fully pay for the facility. They both said no. And then he bulldozed the half-completed facility in 2022.
It's just an empty lot.
So now nobody gets a practice facility.
Nobody can have it.
Yep. Last year has been a particularly strong year for Tepper, as if you've listened to this podcast, you know, but let's summarize. In November of 2023, after a loss to the Titans, Tepper went on a temper tantrum against his own team in the locker room and called head coach Frank Reich a fucking fuck, which I did not know. That's really good.
Yep, he did.
He called it in front of all the players and then fired him the next day. In December 2023, Tepper famously threw his drink at a fan from the press booth after hearing the fan loudly criticize him. The NFL fined him $300,000 for that. And during this year's draft prep, I remember bringing this up at our draft episode.
Yes.
Tepper would go into sports bars and call up sports radio shows who criticized his on-the-field meddling. One bar in particular apparently caught his ire. They had a sign out front that they would change depending on, like, hey, you know, let the coaches pick this player, blah, blah, blah. Tepper apparently would harass this bar several times during the offseason, taking time out of his day to yell at this probably 18-year-old like server about
it's
the
like
sign,
a
like she's gonna
pizza place bar, and he's screaming at somebody at the front desk.
Right. This year we've seen Tepper obviously shit can his own personal choice of quarterback when he benched Bryce Young, who I don't know if you know this, Ryan, but he was picked over CJ Stroud, and has forced
Tepper's choice, not the coaching staff's choice.
He's forced his very weird coach to go with Andy Dalton, which is probably the right decision just from a win-loss perspective.
Well, I mean, it's okay because they had the first overall pick, and they took. Oh wait, no, they didn't. No, never mind.
Maybe this year.
Why are you hurting me? Why are you doing this?
Anyway, like Tepper, so gung-ho about Young, immediately throws him under the bus. So you almost get the feeling though that he's warming up. You know, he's only been an owner for 6 years. He's still got at least another decade left in him to do all.
You don't even have a sex scandal out of him yet.
Yeah, not yet. He will. Don't worry.
You haven't even talked about his soccer team yet.
I'm not going to talk about
all kinds of drama with his soccer.
Yes.
He fired like 6 coaches already on the soccer side.
I had to get through this thing quick. So anyway, welcome to the club, David. So there you go.
Jesus. He also, when they asked, like, you've really screwed up the soccer team and the football team, he said, well, we bring in concerts. Now we bring in concerts.
By the sweet ghost of Tim Biakabatuka, can't Ryan have some peace?
God, I love Tim.
No, he momentarily skipped over my segment. I took that to heart.
No, is that what it was?
I was going to induct Aaron Rodgers, but no.
God, I thought you were going to go
in cold storage, Mark. You've been waiting to drop this bomb.
Who is he going after here? Me.
Fuck you, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think this is going to become a theme. Are you going to go after each one of us now? Is that your plan?
If you disrespect me and skip my segment, yeah.
Look, the Niners have had nothing but clean, healthy, great players forever.
Sure.
All right, Lawrence Phillips up next.
Oh, God. Sad Boy Boat. You've had your fun. Sad Boy Boat. I think it has to be all Cowboys.
Leave some room for Sirianni on there, right? Like,
is he sad about what he did, though? He seems
you know what? That's an excellent point.
He's not
Is
sad.
there like a buoy on the back? That's the bitch boy boat.
Wee.
Yeah, he's got his own little.
Sirianni on that.
He's in timeout.
Mm-hmm. I like filling this all with Cowboys. I think it's very fun.
Jerry belongs in there, right?
Jerry.
He's definitely sad.
Jerry.
His birthday was ruined.
Yeah,
Jerry's
definitely.
birthday was ruined. Dak.
They're all wearing like party hats that have been crushed.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy.
Oh,
he probably belongs on there.
Dude is so gone.
I don't know, CeeDee Lamb, because God, I'm being wasted.
I could be sad with that dump truck full of money. I think I'd be okay.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
How do you sleep?
Or do we have to put Kevin Stefanski on there because this guy's just forced.
No, he just accepted his fate. Like he's not even sad. He's just like already planning on who he's going to call an offense for next year.
I'm going to get fired and I'll be somewhere else.
Right.
No, he's like he's Sisyphus at this point. He's willfully accepted his fate. He's willfully accepted his fate and takes glory in the fact that he gets up every day and has to push the rock up the hill.
Right. Right.
Either that or he's the horse from Animal Farm.
I will work harder.
I will work harder.
I will work harder.
As he makes his way to the glue factory.
Spoilers. Spoilers to the 60, 70, 80-year-old book, whatever it was.
Kevin Stefanski is the horse in 1980.
Boxer. His name was Boxer.
Boxer.
Yeah.
Boxer.
Oh, my God.
Nobody's ever seen a donkey die. Donkey lives a long time.
All right, game balls on the positive side. The game balls. Who do you get a game ball for? Mark, I'll let you go first so you don't insult me again next week with a Ray Caruth induction or something.
No, Ray Caruth will never go in. I have standards. Ray
Luke
Caruth will never go in. Luke Kuechly. You know what
he's not bad. How dare you?
Is Gary Collins in yet?
Yeah,
he belongs in there, actually.
Yeah, I could bring in Kerry.
He could come in.
So the last 2 weeks in a row, I think 1 week I gave it to Derrick Henry, and then I wanted to give it to him again last week. After this week's performance, though, Amari Cooper for getting out of Cleveland and going into the wonderful bosom of
the warm arms of Josh Allen.
Right.
The fragile tables and warm arms.
Yes, that's right. Shh.
It's okay now.
He can't touch you anymore.
I've never sexually assaulted anyone.
That you know of.
I date an Avenger. It's okay.
Yeah, right. Do you want some of my nuts? Oh, no.
Whoa. Flamingo, pipe down. Drew, you got a game ball?
I was jokingly going to give a game ball to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard for being models of consistency, and despite not even playing together anymore, both being hurt before the season starts. But instead, I'm going to give my game ball to Mark Vientos, who took a very smart, intentional walk very personally and then took it out on the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. All right, Mike. Game ball going to
Brock Purdy, baby. It's Brocktober.
I can't wait to do the Orton line and have Bo Nix 32 and Brock Purdy 31.
Oh my God.
Bo Nix.
We are so
make that one.
You have Neil O'Donnell's kid at quarterback.
They don't have to say it. You can't make fun of me. 20 years of watching my team flail and die. There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard or thought myself.
You can't hurt me.
You can't hurt me anymore.
You can't hurt me.
What have I got to lose?
Oh man, I give mine to Dan Campbell's pettiness, not the man. Just his pettiness.
That's nothing wrong with that.
He's gonna run it up on the Cowboys. Okay, it's time for plugs. Mike, do you have a plug?
None necessary. Look at this hair.
The hair
quality.
What do you use for shampoo?
Bacon grease.
No wonder why all the neighborhood dogs love me.
Leprechaun tears.
Leprechaun tears.
Good old fashioned head and shoulders, baby.
The tears of the Seahawks. What's on Bloody Good Music this week?
Chris posted a scathing and entertaining review of the new Offspring album.
What? There's a new one?
Yeah,
oh my God.
that was kind of our reaction.
Give it
Why?
Yeah, it's bad, yo.
Come on.
The thrust of Chris's review, if you want to read it, is not only are they not a good band anymore, they're not a good novelty band anymore.
No. There's something about his negative reviews that I enjoy more.
Oh yeah.
Some people have a skill set that is very specific.
When he reviewed that Blink-182 album,
that was magical.
That's
one of my favorites of his.
That's a good one. All right. The TGF podcast has a new Halloween episode out, which includes maybe some of the weirdest tangents we've ever gone down.
Feedcast.
The Paul Feig argument. The Feedcast.
I thought you said Feedcast.
Well, nope. Nope.
Not Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
No. The
or Oiled Up Rob Ryan.
The guy who did the Lady Ghostbusters and other movies. I like we got a message that just said Feedcast. Love the Feedcast joke.
Apparently that was what resonated with our listeners. Is the Feedcast joke. That went on way too long.
It went on for several. I don't know even how to clip it. There's like 3 different versions of it. All right, that's it. We are closing in on an Orton line.
Yep.
Yes.
We're 2 weeks away, right? 2 weeks away from the Orton line. We've got a San Francisco Cowboys matchup. I can't wait to see what happens there. Either way, we win. The 3 of us win. If you lose, it's going to be insane. That show, we're going to need 40 minutes just to get through what happened there.
Mike's going to show up in a beaded necklace and a grass skirt, trying to pray for ancient gods to save him.
If something bad happens to the 49ers in that game, be forewarned. That is a must listen to episode. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh my God, that's Joe Montana's music. X-Pac!
I hate the Cowboys so much.
I hate this guy.
X-Pac! You think you can tell us what to do? Yeah. You think you can tell us what to win?
It works so well.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Bennett.
Get ready to bow to the master.
All right, that's it. We're out of here.
How much money would you pay to hear Tony's corpse just go, suck it?
Fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd pay at least $100 American.
I mean, that would.
Has anybody else seen those videos of Frankie Valli getting trotted out to lip sync to his songs? It's so
bad.
sad.
Right.
It's bad.
He's just standing there like a lost child.
It's rough. It's rough. I don't think he even knows where he is. He's like looking up at the ceiling like that. Oh God. One of my favorite things though is William Shatner's wrestling album or wrestling songs that he did that one time.
Yes.
Where he did Sexy Boy, the Shawn Michaels song, as only he could.
Is it like the spoken word thing that he does?
Yes, he did spoken word Sexy Boy, and it's one of the funniest things in the world.
It exists?
Where? You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on there. He did like 4 or 5 different ones, but Sexy Boy was the one that really got me.
I'm not sure. Boy.
Toy? Yes, it's just like that. All right, we're out of here. Peace out. We'll see you in week 7.
Bye.
See you.